That's right. And we're back live on Chicano Tube. We're back live on Chicano Street. Do me a favor, beautiful Linda Raza, just hit that like button one more time. I appreciate you for hitting that like button. And right next to the like button, well, there's a chinga tu madre button. So if you want to hit the chinga tu madre, hit it. Pura pedo, man. Pura pedo. It's funny because one of my ace deuces, I mean, a day oneer, right? I mean, so close. We go back. I'll tell you like this: the best man in my wedding, right? The best man in my wedding. He reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, Mikey, who are these motherfuckers?" I was like, "No, calma la way. Don't worry about the internet. You know what I mean? If you dish it, you better be ready to receive it." So we're gonna have a good old time tonight. We actually got a lot of things that we got to talk about, man. It seems like there's so much always breaking on the news. We're gonna go ahead and cover it right here, unbiasedly, objectively, no filters. No one's bought. There's no receipts. No one's paid for. We're going to go ahead and get into a lot of things tonight. But first, of course, you know what we got to do, cabrones. We got to go through the formalities. Gracias to all the day oneers, man. All the day oneers that have been with us since a couple hundred subscribers. And here we are, knocking on the door at 14,000, man. That's all because of you guys. I just want to take the time to say thank you. You know what I mean? I really do appreciate every time you guys tune in. I appreciate every time you guys hit the thumbs up. The trolls hit the thumbs down, the chinga tu madre button. I appreciate all of that. Believe it or not, man. At least I'm not talking to myself over here like a pendejo. So again, if you're new to the channel and you're just subscribed over to the channel, let me know. Let me give you a little bit of back history on the channel. The channel started, we rebranded it last June. It started about a year before that. We rebranded it last June to Chicano Tube. And now we got the backup channel that's up and it's going because your boy is getting strike. It don't matter to me. As long as we go out telling the truth, I'm going to go out on my pinchy shield. I'll tell you that. They already got the TikTok account. That's already on strike 2. So that shit is a 2-striker, just like your boy. So that one is a lo mejor va a bailar, but on the last clips, we didn't even put nothing in the TikTok, man. They got mad that we were talking about taxes. And just remember, though, censorship is going down, but TikTok, it's a foreign-owned entity. So they're not subject to certain things, right? They can do whatever they want because TikTok is overseas. But, man, we just, we hit 11,000. Now we're like at 11,000 and a half on IG. Our voice is getting heard, man. All right, so all the day oneers, everyone inside the members only, man. The members only shows their Chicano Street, their Chicano support from day one, man. Just a little something 99, you know. If 99 cents breaks the bank, hey, I get it. But for those that do a little something 99 extra every single month to keep the message going, I appreciate that from the bottom of mi pinche corazon. And that's no bullshit, man. That's real shit, RS, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. I was going to say Chicano channels, but shit, man. We're like down on one hand, cabrones. We're like down on one hand of Chicano channels. And the Chicano pages, well, I'm going to keep it a buck with you, man. The Chicano pages lately have been a little bit in a tit-fit, man. A little bit in a tit-fit. For some reason, and I know the reason, it's called propaganda, cabrones. You know, motherfuckers think that, you know, to be a Chicano is not to think on your own. A lot of cabrones think, well, if you say you're a Chicano, and if you say your channel's a Chicano channel, then you got to think like the rest of the monton. No. That's been the problem with a lot of the raza, especially in Chicanos, man. We ain't thought on our own forever, for a long time. We've been programmed. And we blame it on our environments. We blame it on mom and pops. We blame it on circumstances, etc. But never owned up to making our own decisions. So to the pinchy Chicano pages that are like, fuck that, Mikey, fuck that, No. You might have the popular cool kids opinion, but what we got right here is the real shit in the barrio. So I'd rather have the real shit than the watered down shit. I'll tell you that, man. I appreciate everyone. That's right. Jenny Selby. That's right, amiga. I appreciate you. LA County's in the casa. That's right. Daniel Gonzalez. That's right, Carlitos. I appreciate you. Anthony Reese. That's right, cabron. He said, Cannibal's real life Hannibal Rising. Orale. That's right, cabron. And then, of course, everlasting base. That's right, cabron. Al Red Dog, crabs in a bucket mentality. We might get into that tonight, but there's a lot to talk about. I mean, a lot. Look at what the header says. That's what we're going to go ahead and get into, man. So, again, it's all unity of the raza no matter what. They see me as an outlier. They see me as the one, well, fuck that. He can't think for himself. You know, he needs to vote the way we want him to. Okay. That's what I think about that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up a couple things, man. That way we can get ourselves fed. You know what I mean, as far as what's happening out there, and then approach everything unbiasedly, man. Let's look at it. Let's dissect it. Let's not get all up on our feelings and shit like that. That's gonna take us nowhere, but to fucking high blood pressure and gray hair. Okay, that's all your feelings are gonna do, and you don't have to agree with me. You don't even have to rock with me. Fuck it. My sazon is a little bit different. My salsa might be a little bit too spicy, right? A lot of people go to channels because they want to hear what they want to hear, and they don't want to hear the truth. I'm willing to go out on my shield and get this whole pinchy channel just gone, disappeared, and struck down as long as I told you the truth. And if we disappear, well, don't forget to subscribe over to the backup channel. It's called Chicano Street TV. And then we'll come back over there stronger than ever and still speaking the fucking truth. There ain't no sugarcoating, nada. We don't duck anything. We don't dodge anything. And no one is blocked. And it's freedom of speech, even though I know we got people in the comment section they got shanks. Just keep trucha, man. Let them go ahead and shoot their shit. I got thick skin. Don't worry about it. Like my boy, Ray Chicano. Hey, who are these motherfuckers? No, cálmate, güey. This is the internet, bro. Anyone that wants to put themselves out on the internet as a public figure definitely has scrutiny coming over to them. That's 100%, and that's 1,000%. So I just see one of my day oneers in the comment section. He's like, this is a hometown one, so I got to pop this comment up right here. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. That's what I didn't do. My bad. All right, let me get the chat up. Hold on. There it is. My bad, Farmero. Here we go. All right, here we go. And this is a hometown, man. Shout out to you, cabron. I appreciate you more than you know. Me and Farmero go way back. We go back to the juvenile camp way. Remember when they opened the juvenile camp way? There was no barbed wire. There was nothing, right? There was double doors and opening and shit like that. And I don't know, people would catch feelings or they'd be on the phone. Hey, there's a house party. And this is the 90s, right? Menace Society shit. Hey, there's a house party. Next thing you know, 2-3 cabrones are jumping over the fence and shit. Of course, when they busted them, they all got YA, right? But here's a day oneer that I know since day one. He says, Mikey, I have a question about the next upcoming town hall. Can this next one actually be unbiased? The last one was stacked, right-leaning. Also, Nino needs to go do convey. I appreciate your input, cabron. I don't know if you knew, but I tried my best, bro. But we are going to go ahead and get a new lineup. Some of your favorite are coming back. Like people were telling me, bro, they want Rascal to come back, bro. I'm thinking of offering Rascal Homie Hangout a permanent seat at the town hall because a lot of people, like I do, appreciate his insight. I appreciate that. I value that. I also value his time. I know he's a busy man, or the family, right? It's always number one. Dios, familia, cultura. You know how those are the pillars of Chicano Street. But yes, and if you want to put me in contact with anyone, maybe I don't know. Okay. Now, as far as different views, I thought I had 3 with not including myself. I thought I only had 3 conservatives on there, bro. You know what I mean? I thought I only had 3 conservatives on there. But again, yes. But the answer is yes, my boy. That's right. I appreciate you, man. That's right, Farmero. That's right. He says the youth center days, cabron. That's right. I go the first Friday of every month over there, man. The first Friday. And they all got tablets, man. They all watch YouTube. So they watch me. They hit the like. They ain't never told me I said something wrong, man. Never. Even though if you think, oh, he's talking down on the guys or on the youngsters. Never that, man. Is never the old school approach. It doesn't work with the youngsters, man. You gotta have the youngsters be proud of their communities. You gotta let them be proud of their neighborhoods. The only thing we're trying to do now is have the youngsters think of their future, man. before they throw it all away. That's it. Think of a trade school. Think of having a family. Think of, or forget the family, right? Think of having things, okay? Like the youngsters, right? Nowadays, they want to floss money, they want to floss chargers and shit like that. Well, you ain't gonna have none of that shit staring at a cement wall. Okay, that's just the real. And they still have the opportunity to expunge, to change the game, level up, and not have their mamas crying anymore. Much less do I want to, because I've only attended one, I think only one funeral of one of the youngsters that I used to mentor. And it's sad, but the streets swallowed him up. So that's what I'm passionate about. Okay. But here we are on YouTube, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. I want to bring something up, man. Let's go ahead and bring up the case of Jocelyn Romo. Jocelyn Romo. Okay. A lot of people aren't talking about it. Of course, here we're on Chicano Street. We don't duck anything. We want to get to the pertinent, most important things, especially when they affect the raza. Jocelyn Romo is a case that it does pertain to the raza. It pertains to ICE. It pertains to immigration. It pertains to deportation, which a lot of people don't realize. There's a lot of propaganda. A lot of propaganda. And I'm going to play a clip also. We'll talk about the ICE raids. Someone sent me some clips as far as in LA, what was going on over the weekend, etc. They actually got ready for an ICE raid in LA, and they ended up finding out they got wrong information and ended up being a police sting operation on a motherfucker that everyone wants locked up. And so some bad information came down the pipe. We'll talk about that, but I'm also going to play the clip. You know, they're blowing bullhorns, walking down the streets, almost making it seem like the apocalypse was happening. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. We'll get to that, but hold on. Hold on. All right, here we are. Share screen. The gram. No, here it is. The gram. All right. Here it is. All right, let me draw your attention over to here it is right here. Okay. So this just recently happened. Okay, we're talking about last week, the week that I was in Mexico. Okay, and not a lot of people are talking about it. Now, I'm. This is my opinion. I think about it like this, Gente. Before we bring it on, let me just say this because this is serious. This is not bullshit. This is not all agenda, all red, blue, all fucking YouTube politics, the streets, the calles, and funny shit, right? This is real shit, right? When we stop taking into consideration how other humans feel based on our agendas, based on our politics, based on how the fuck you feel, based on who the cool kids are, based on what the popular opinion is, we actually lose all sight of humanity. All sight of humanity. That people have been messaging me, oh, fucking Mikey, you've been going in and whoever I've been talking about, it ain't no personal grudges, man. There is not one personal grudge. If we're going to die on any hill, we're going to die on morals and we're going to die on principles, period. Okay. But this is the real shit, man. This is the real shit, right? I said that to read this. Here it is. So this comes from the IG page. Go ahead and give them a follow, right? This is out of Gainesville. Okay. This story is out of Gainesville, right? It said, La Mama, mother, Marbella Carranza, says that her 11-year-old daughter, Jocelyn Romo, there's a hashtag going on right there, took her own vida due to bullying. That means she was getting, I don't even know if I could say that, but now there's been a lot less censorship on the internet, except TikTok, because again, it's China owned. But now you could post on IG almost anything about, boom, the shot, anything, and they're not taking it down, and no one's talking about it. It's called America. This is the way it's always should have been. You know what I mean? But anyways, due to the bullying she suffered at school, man. According to this mother, the girl's classmates bothered her because of her Mexicano origin and told her that La Migra was going to deport her parents. The case investigator, again, this is in regards to Jocelyn Romo. The case investigator told her that Jocelyn went to counseling between 1 and 2 times a week to report what had happened. And again, I'll just go ahead and read the headline over here. 11-year-old girl unalived herself because she was bullied by classmates that kept making fun of her. His Mexican parents, I guess, right? I don't know. Gainesville, Texas. I need Gainesville, Texas to check in the building because you're telling me that Gainesville, Texas doesn't have raza making fun of her parents. Okay, because again, then where's the other children? What's going on? You know what I mean? And telling her that they will be deported. Of course, they put the president's name in there, etc. But 43, 44 still has the record on throwing motherfuckers out of the country, but they never put his name on any mean. But again, it just is what it is, right? This case right here, let me pull it off the screen, man. It broke my heart, man. Someone brought it to my attention. It came across my feed, but someone had to send me the link. I appreciate you that sent me the link, man. This broke my heart. This is where the rubber meets the road on a lot of podcasters on YouTube, man. On a lot of podcasters on YouTube. It seems like we can agree on certain things on YouTube. You know, when it comes to our familias, well, some of us are. Even some of us turned into sympathizers, and we don't care about children, but I'm going to leave that alone. At least I'm going to try to leave that alone tonight, right? But this is a sad case, man. Something that I realized growing up in the neighborhood, growing up in poverty. I'm not going to say I grew up in abject poverty. There's some people that grew up really poor. That my poverty looks like West Beverly Hills to what their poverty looks like. So there's different levels. I put myself, because I come from nothing and I appreciate everything, I put myself in people's shoes real quick, man. I have more empathy than a lot of people think. And it could be construed maybe as a weakness. Maybe it could be used against me. But I have a lot of empathy, man. I don't have empathy for pendejos, but I have a lot of empathy, man. No matter what political belief, no matter what you want to say, no matter what you want to think, the human being that's inside of me is always going to feel for a case like this. I will never, ever agree with politics, gaslighting issues that lead to destruction. Never. One life lost is one life too many. What are we going to do about this immigration issue is the question that could deter things like what happened to Jocelyn Romo to stop happening to our children. What can we do about that? That's the real question. Not the beating around the bush. Not the, hold on, gente. I'm going to start taking phone calls right now. Man, you guys are already hot on the pinchy trigger, man. Hold on, gente. Hold on, man. Okay. All right. I think we're hot now. I turn notifications on because next thing you know, all the notifications, especially when it went viral on IG, the one from the Governor Newsom one had like 40,000 shares on IG. And it's funny, you'll get 40,000 shares and only like 1,000 of those cabrones want to follow you, but que gacho anyways. What are we going to do? What needs to be done? I can't even imagine what the mother is going through, man. I can't imagine.
Esperando el milagro que mi hija estuviera bien, pero desgraciadamente no se pudo hacer nada. Yo amo a mis hijos, los amo y a mi hija pues va a vivir siempre para mí. Siempre la voy a amar.
Según la familia, Jocelyn Romo, de 11 años de edad, se habría quitado la vida. Estudiaba sexto grado en la secundaria de Gainesville. Era la mayor de 4 hermanos.
Todos los días me decía que me amaba.
La madre de Jocelyn pide respuesta a las autoridades policiales y educativas. Es que al parecer, según la familia, la menor sufría de bullying. Esto era lo que supuestamente le decían.
Por sus papás que eran hispanos, de que le iban a hermana, esperando un milagro que mi hija.
Now, that's such a sensitive thing, man. I know we want to find out right away when shit happens, right? Break the news, break the news. It just happened today, so they should report about it today. Okay. If that's the standard for journalism, report on it the same day it happens. I get that, right? What I don't agree with is putting a pinchy camera and a microphone in front of people that are going through some of the most traumatizing, devastating moments of their lives. And then they want to go ahead and stick a microphone in them. Like, talk to us, talk to us, talk to us. I don't agree with that. I think they need to calm the fuck down with that. They need to give people time to mourn. Period. Almost kind of like with the same analogy. Remember with Joe Rogan and the UFC? They started, they stopped interviewing people after they get TKO'd and KO'd because it was just the wrong time to put a mic in someone's face when there's a possible concussion going on in their head. And it's a bad time. And what they're going to say probably won't be good or look good on them, or maybe won't even be coherent and make sense, right? Man, where's my water? All right. My bad. 805 is in the building. My bad. I missed your call, cabron. I guess this issue, there's no way around it. It's gonna tie into immigration, man. What happened to Jocelyn Romo is an absolute tragedy. And I can't believe that there is actually pendejos out there that would even try to politicize something like an 11-year-old child feeling so bad. Imagine what was going through her mind that she had to take herself to the point of no longer wanting to be on this earth. If you're one of those ones that politics like that and gaslight shit, shame on you. Shame on you. Caller, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say? Can you hear me? Caller, can you hear me? Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and just reset the Bluetooth, man. I'm going to go ahead and reset the Bluetooth. I apologize. The last caller. I'll turn it off and turn it back on again. Shame on you if you look past this for political gain. This is a horrible story, man. That should have never happened. Now people are going to backtrack a little bit now, and they're going to get into immigration. Well, my solution, let me just cut straight to the fucking chase. My solution is that we stop wasteful spending on other places, which they've already cut $1 trillion, and we allocate money into going into immigration. That's what we need to do. Now, some people could call this, well, it's an isolated case, Mikey. She was bullied. This has more, some people will say this has more to do with accountability in the school system than it does with immigration. I could see that too. That she went to counseling twice a week. What did the counselor do? Who did the counselors talk to? Were the parents involved all the way, or were they not? Okay, let me see. All right. Such a damn shame. Such a shame. This shit pisses me off, man. This is not a game. This is not. All right. Caller, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say?
Call from
Alex.
Caller, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say?
Oh, hey, Mikey. Thanks for taking my call.
That's right, caller. You got the floor. I appreciate you. Go ahead.
So as far as this kid that got bullied, I think any kid that gets bullied, I think their parents should go ahead and press charges, especially if the bully is getting physical with their kids. Also, it seems like a lot of Latinos are negligent parents nowadays, starting to say. It seems like a lot of kids are getting raised by TikTok, YouTube, TV, the Raiders, the Dodgers, Kendrick Lamar, Nipsey Hussle. Especially there's a lot of obesity in our communities. We are what we eat. It all starts with what we eat. And as far as the immigration problem issue, there's something called the Latino Freeze movement. It's supported by Dolores Huerta. It was started in Central California by Dr. Michael Galvez. And basically, they are boycotting against large corporations, supporting small businesses, especially Latino businesses. And they're also cutting their subscriptions for, cable, Netflix, anywhere we're underrepresented. But I think another part of that should be a couple more points. I like to call it a 5-point agenda, 5-point system. I think we could also take our money out of the banks and put it into credit unions. That way the banks can't profit off of our money by investing in mortgages or stocks until, there's some sort of reform as far as immigration goes for the DACA kids, for the veterans, for people that have been here for many years, contributing to the economy.
Now, in the case of
and
Jocelyn,
another thing we could do is
go ahead.
We could also call on our Democratic leaders that we've been voting for many years. They've been very quiet about this. And there's some big dates coming up, March 1st, May 1st, September 1st, which are big dates for us Latinos. I think we should, by those dates, we could have our cable and Wi-Fi canceled. We could have our banks transferred to credit unions, and we could have a plan on how to boycott large corporations to support small businesses. Especially the last thing we should do on the internet is, before we cut our Wi-Fi to the house and cable, is we should look up Latino businesses around us that we could support. Latino mechanics, Latino doctors, Latino, anything Latino that we could find that we need, we could support it. We could look on Google and look up local Latino businesses near us. I was wondering, what do you think about that?
I think it's a good thing. I think if we're advancing, right, on the chessboard, it's always a good thing. Now, let me ask you this on Jocelyn Romo. Let me ask you a specific question. Do you think this has to do specifically with the president's policies, or do you think the accountability falls on the school system or somewhere in between?
I think it falls on the parents. I think it falls on us for not demanding better out of our schools and out of our longtime government that we elected, the Democrats. We've been electing Democrats for 20 years, 40 years by this point, and they've done nothing. Our schools are in terrible shape. A lot of us are walking around undereducated, underemployed, falling for hype, falling for propaganda, falling for programming. We know everything about the Lakers. We know everything about the Dodgers. We know everything about Nipsey Hussle, and Kendrick Lamar now is our new idol. But we don't know what our schools are doing to these kids while they're in there. We just use them for babysitting. And the schools aren't being tested. Nobody's being accountable. There's more and more administration. they're putting us in remedial classes while they're preparing the college, the white kids and the Asian kids for college. A lot of us are getting our wings clipped before the second grade. We've never seen geometry. We've never seen complex vocabulary or been challenged in our comprehension in reading, in logic, in rationalizing. And I think we need to hold our schools to higher standards, and we need to hold our media to higher standards, not just falling for hype of sports, rap, Marvel, video games, TikTok. There should be way more listeners to YouTube channels like yours, American Cholo, but we're distracted with TikTok. We're distracted with hype. And we have programming. We know all the latest language, all the latest slang. We know all the latest haircuts, the Edgars, the Toxicos, the degenerates. We know all the languaging, all the programming. We know crabs in a bucket. We know all types of different programming, but we don't address how we're being played by the system. And we don't share knowledge with each other. I see a lot of young Hispanic kids protesting, but I see a lot of our elders are very quiet. So that's the least thing that our elders could do is cut the cable, cut the Wi-Fi. A lot of us are becoming zombies for this Wi-Fi. And, take our money out of the banks, put it into credit unions. We need to unionize our money.
Damn, what a great caller, man. I appreciate your feedback. 805 is in the casa. Thank you, my boy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ándale. God bless. Buenas noches. 805 in the casa. Man, what a great comment. He said the responsibility falls more on the parents, according to the last caller, and I agree. It's a damn shame. I mean, I hate to see these kind of things happen and then no one holds accountable the school system, the parents. I've been saying this since day one. This generation of kids is going to be the first generation to develop rheumatoid, the blood of Jesus. I hope it doesn't. The blood of Jesus is going to be the first generation of kids to develop rheumatoid arthritis at half of the age that you should be having arthritis, because all we do is give them a phone and a tablet, and here's the babysitter. That's a damn shame, man. That's a damn shame. And I don't agree, I'm going to say it one more time, with people trying to gaslight it. Well, it's this president's fault. It's this president. Look, if you're looking to throw a jacket on someone, you don't need a reason. You're just going to throw the jacket on someone, right? But that's someone who, come on now, the president in the White House, hasta allá está el cabrón, right? It was almost a cabrona, but it's a cabrón. And it was what it was. It's who the people wanted at the end of the day. All the way over there. How much do we put on the president of the United States to raise our children?
Unknown caller.
Right.
To accept.
Jenny La Chicana is in the building. I appreciate the call, amiga. What you got to say this evening?
Hi, how you doing, Mikey?
I'm doing well. God bless you. How's the family?
They're good.
All right, good. Let me know your thoughts on the Jocelyn Romo situation, please.
You know what? It's a sad reality, but the system's failed her. We can sit here and pontificate and how things happen, but you know what? Parents have to take responsibility for their kids. You know, and we can't go around blaming everybody else. Because at some point in life, you have to take accountability for your actions. We're suffering right now, and you and I don't agree on politics, but hey, it's okay. This is the United States of America. You have the right to believe in what you believe.
So is
you and I are
it's on the school
grown
system?
ass adults.
You think it's on the school system then,
and
the
we
parents?
can agree to disagree. But so the thing of it is we have to take a responsibility for our actions. The system has been broken. The immigration system has been broken for years, and I don't care who it is, Republican, Democrat. They're a bunch of crooks. They forgot why they were in there. It's for the people, not for their self-enrichment. And I tell people, hey, get an education. Read a book. Turn off the damn television. And, learn something. Education is the key. We have to do that to our kids. And say, hey, you know what? You want something? You work for it. Nothing is free in the world. That's what my daddy taught me. And you know what? If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's my thoughts.
Well, I appreciate the call, mi amiga. You have a blessed evening. Jenny La Chicana from San Diego is checking in. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I don't think she's putting it on the executive branch. I don't think she's putting it on the president. I think she said just what the previous caller said. Where's the accountability? I'm sure there's so many open cases, right? Maybe through protective services, child protective services. You had the case the other day was just the birthday of rest in peace, Gabriel Fernandez, right?
Risky business.
The little boy. And that little boy should have been, to me, the very, very case that caused for immediate reformation of all these broken systems that have been failing our children since day one. Caller, you're live on Chicano. Okay, my bad. The call dropped. The Gabriel Fernandez case should have been the case to change the system. Constant abuse, give him back to the mom. Constant bruises, gave him back to the mom. Broken, fractured ribs, gave him back to the mom. What the fuck is going on in the United States of America? Does a child have to be dead in order for someone to give a fuck?
Risky business.
When I tell you.
Business.
Jay, South Texas is in the casa. Buenas tardes, cabrón. How are you?
Buenas noches, güey. I'm on the East Coast.
Oh, shit. Is it cold over there?
Raining?
Mid-40s? Oh, okay. Nah, it's
en la Casa Blanca, güey.
Oh, órale, that's right. What do you think about the Jocelyn Romo case? Or I even just mentioned Gabriel Fernandez. Or did you have something to say about something else, cabrón? Go ahead.
Well, I got to go in, right?
Yeah, go in.
Hey, bro, are you really putting what happened to that little girl on the parents? Like, given the circumstances, given the facts of coming from the mom, right? Like, just look, check it out. I think this is selective politicking for sure.
Dale.
Because I could say the same thing about Riley, right?
Yes.
What if I were to say, well, what was she wearing when she was jogging?
Mm-hmm.
Was she being too provocative? Why was she jogging in the middle of nowhere? Did the parents really not teach her anything? Now, that's not how I feel. right? I'm just using it as an example to where like
See,
that shit ain't fair, bro. But the only difference is that one last name is white and the other is Hispanic, Latino, Mexicano, whatever.
mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. You're gonna do that, bro?
So I don't know if
Having half of that flag behind you, that Mexican flag.
let me clarify. Maybe I didn't clarify.
That shit ain't right, bro.
Yeah, no, I okay. Yeah, I hear you, cabron. Let me clarify. Just like I mentioned, Gabriel Fernandez getting tortured. Let's just keep it a buck. Fractured ribs, bruises all up and down his body, and they give him back to the parent. This school system failed this girl who was going twice a week for counseling. Where's the communication between the school system and the parent? Where's that accountability? If that makes sense.
No, for sure. There's a lot of things we can talk about. Like I said, even in the Riley case, we can talk about a lot of things.
Mm.
But the facts of we stick to the facts of the case, right? Where the little girl was getting bullied.
Mm.
Now, Gainesville, Texas, I know that where that's at exactly.
Órale. All right. So, is that all raza or gabachos?
North of Dallas. It's north of Dallas. It's pretty much the state line of Oklahoma and Texas.
Okay. Is that 50-50?
And for sure, you have raza.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say a good 50-50 of raza and Hicks.
So who failed this girl? Who do you think?
So, who failed this girl?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the circumstances of what's going on. If you ask me, right? Again, going with the facts, I wouldn't put it past those gabachos in that school district or in her classroom. For sure, definitely clowning her for having Latino parents. Now you say all the time you grew up with Debbies and Donnas and whatnot, but this happened in Texas. The temperature is different. So before you try to downplay a little bit, bro, like be aware of what goes down in the towns where the cases are. So I don't think it's fair, bro. Neta, I don't think it's fair for you to try to move the goalpost on this one. It looks bad, neta way.
And I'm moving the goalpost for who? For Trump?
I mean, you said it.
I don't know.
I never mentioned Trump.
Okay. Yeah. Because if you look at the memes, the memes are saying the president's policies are doing this. So
good.
I'm not saying it, but there's a lot of memes.
Let me segue into this, and then I'll get off way.
Go ahead.
Okay. So given with everything that's going on with the whole tattoo artist y todo ese pedo, right?
Okay.
I'm just gonna use it as an example. So let's say you're at the mall with one of your, and I hate to use you as an example, but I'm talking to you one-on-one, right? So
Dale gas. Yep.
So it's loosely. But let's say you're at the mall, right, with your teenage daughters, and then a grown-ass man walks up to you, or to your daughters specifically, and tells them or you, hey, in 10 years, I'm going to be dating your daughter. Wouldn't you say that's predatory behavior, tendencies? Now,
yeah, I would say yes.
The reason I bring that up is because it's out there on public record where Trump did that exactly. There was a group of underage girls going up an escalator in 1992, and he made that same remark. hey, I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. That's morality? Does he get a pass?
I hear you.
But with that, I'll leave you, cabron, and go ahead and explain it to us. Tell us how you feel about that.
Hey, before you go, you already know it's a happy Flag Day, cabron. All right, risky business. I appreciate the call.
Unknown caller.
I had to do that one. Jay, South Texas, man. Proud Mexicano. Yeah, what he said was maybe he wasn't understanding where I'm putting blame on. I'm putting blame on a fucking system that is broken, that has failed our children. And Gabriel Fernandez should have been the epitome, the first and the last case. I don't want to hear shit about red tape. I don't want to hear, well, there's so many cases. We'll get more manpower. Stop sending $20 million for fucking condoms and put those $20 million into independent investigators so they can go inside these schools. And anytime a child has any kind of claim as such, the parents get involved. There's an independent, maybe agency that does mediation. We could do this, people. We live in one of the most sophisticated countries in the entire
Unknown
world.
caller.
No excuses. But anyways, all right, here we go.
To accept, press
Caller, 805 is in the building. You're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say?
Hey, brothers, Alex again. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. Talk to me.
So what's happening is a lot of our elders have their hands in the pot as far as the welfare state in California, especially. Not only are they getting benefits, they keep their mouths quiet for the Democrat system that's been failing us for years. A lot of us, our elders, are also brain dead due to lack of it, undereducated, underemployed, and underrepresented for many years. And there's also when a caller that tries to enlighten the people calls, you'll see right after, a dumbass basically calls and tries to mess up the message and mess up the Latinos trying to be empowered. And so part of that Latino Freeze movement is supporting Latinos businesses and boycotting corporations. I also think that we should also contribute to our church. That's where we used to network. That's where we used to spread knowledge. And a way to do that is also to talk to your tax man. Taxes are coming up. You could figure out ways that you don't want to contribute to the system, but you could contribute to your local church at the very least. If you're not contributing to pages like yours, American Cholos, or other empowering pages. So again, I like to emphasize the Latino Freeze movement, supported by Dolores Huerta. That's something that we should all support. And in addition to Jocelyn, there's 300,000 missing Latino kids. During the last Trump administration, he is giving our women hysterectomies, affecting their ability to reproduce and have kids. So we all have to be on the same page. We're all a little bit off in our thinking, and we all have our own biases, but we all have to start working for the community like other people do. Black people do everything for the empowerment of their community. White people are always on the same page and protecting each other and supporting each other. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to start doing, and we got to start pushing messages that empower us and not messages that confuse the message and confuse the people. We got to start being real with our people, and we got to start spreading knowledge to each other, especially our elders that have been brain dead since the 70s.
Damn, 805 dropping gems 2 times. I appreciate the call back, cabron.
Thank you, brother. Bye-bye.
Ándale. God bless. So P Dog says this issue is going to be politicized whether we like it or not. Absolutely. I'm against that. I just wanted to let you know that politics have anything to do with what's humane is it blows me out of the water. That takes me over to, I just seen this one right over here. Hold on a second. Is it this one?
As a special agent, as an undercover operator, working on the southern border, working sex trafficking cases. And I can tell you, you're exactly right. One little girl I can tell you about, in fact, I introduced this little girl to Miss Trump during a private briefing. This little girl was kidnapped in Central America, 11 years old, groomed for 2 years, with the intent of getting her ready to come to America. Why? Because we are the highest consuming nation of child pornography. We are the clientele that's the big money. They brought this little girl through a part of the southern border where there was no wall, easily got her to New York City, and this is hard to hear, but this is the truth, and everyone needs to hear this. This little girl, and this is very typical, raped for money every day, 30 to 40 times a day. If that's not a crisis, if that's not an emergency, I don't know what is. Now, let me say this. Had there been a wall, had there been a barrier, this little girl likely would have been saved because the traffickers would have been forced to take this child through the port of entry where we have amazing law enforcement. I've worked with these people. These are the best people on the planet. They can detect, they have equipment, they have trained agents. In contrast, while this was happening, I was working another case. A little boy, a Mexican boy who was kidnapped by an American trafficker by a child pornographer. He kidnapped Mexican children, brought them to San Bernardino County, where he had a makeshift studio, made child porn with these little children, 5 years old. This little boy was kidnapped in Mexicali, Mexico, where there was a wall, where there is a barrier. And so he was forced to take this little boy through the Calexico port of entry. And guess what? It worked. We captured him. We rescued the little boy and subsequently rescued 12 other children in San Bernardino, California. The difference between those two cases is 2 + 2 = 4. The wall was the difference. The wall rescued this little boy, and the lack of a wall caused this little girl to go through a hell that is indescribable, that is not manufactured. It is a real crisis. It is a real emergency.
And you have many thousands.
So the reason I wanted to play that clip is because when people want to talk about immigration, I just want to be very, very clear on my stance, right? Because people get all up in their feelings and they get all up in my DMs. Well, Mikey, this and it. I don't want to hear shit about that border wall. Because who it's really affecting is the 2 children that Tim Ballard, this is Tim Ballard. This is who's sitting next to the president. This is the cabron whose story they made a movie on. And the major, I wonder why, the major movie theaters tried to boycott the film from coming out. But they won't stop a movie from coming out that has 1,000 chirujos dancing, 1,000 unicorns dancing around, etc. I also want to give a shout out to Bonita Falls. She's going to be on the town hall. That's what let me just plug you in, amiga, mi amiga Patty. Patty is going to be on the town hall. That's who I got the clip from right here. I appreciate it. She confirmed today. I'm excited, man. The town hall is shaping up good. We got Raskizi. We also got Denise Aguilar from Stockton, California. Freedom Angels is going to be on here. We'll announce it as we go. We'll drop the graphic. That's going to be March 12th at 7 o'clock. But when people really throw, Mikey, are you trying to stop brown people from coming over the border? No, I'm not. What I'm trying to do is stop children from living a fucking nightmare. Period. And what I'm trying to do is wake people up to a system that's broken. Gabriel Fernandez, perfect example. Rest in peace, mijo, in heaven. He should have been the first and the last case of a broken system. But just like the caller Alex said, We vote politicians in blindly because they spend the most money on billboards and don't give one single flying rip about their policies. Well, I'm Mexican. Of course I vote Democrat. All right, man. Let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. I'm gonna bring up something else. You guys, the phone lines are open now. Might as well. We're going. It's full steam ahead. You guys want to talk about something? We'll go ahead and talk about it right now. Next thing I want to go ahead and just shift over to is where should we go next? Should we go CIA and the protests? CIA and the protests or Apple? And now let's do the Apple one. Let's do the Apple one. Let's talk about the economy, okay, cabrones? Because people are like, Mikey, shit's not getting better. The eggs are more expensive, cabron. 30, well, what day is it today? 30, okay. 34 days. He should have fixed that shit already. Cálmase, cálmase. Let's go ahead and bring up Apple recently announced, shifting gears, cabrones. Cálmase. Ooh, I get a little bit heated, man, when it comes to the children. I don't know if people see me and they think I'm some kind of fucking polished politician that always got the right words to say and are holding me to such a standard that if I don't say the right words, that, it's thumbs down with me. Well, hit the thumbs down. That's I call the thumbs down the chinga tu madre button. Hit that fucking chinga tu madre button. I could care less, but just hit something. Hit like or hit dislike. I'm not a polished politician. I'm going to speak what's on this pinchy heart right here. This heart right here, okay, is Americano, is Mexicano. Shout out to all the Mexicanos. Today is Mexican Flag Day. Viva Mexico, cabrones! Viva Mexico, cabrones. That's how I see things. So I just have to reiterate that from time to time, just so people know.
Unknown caller.
When I tell you.
209, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say, my boy?
Buenas noches, first of all, Mike.
Hey, buenas noches.
So, explain to me how $1 trillion is saved, but they're going to turn around and give you. So, what did you say?
One more time, my boy. Say it again.
You're already at a deficit, right? You understand that there's $3 million deficit.
You mean trillion?
Right? That's the deficit of the United States.
Trillions, yes, trillions.
3 trillion. So you saved one. That's 33% of the deficit. But if you turn around and give that deficit, what did you say?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll hold. I mean, numbers guy, you came, and I want to see how, if you're already in a hole, you get out of a hole by throwing money in a different direction.
I get it. Okay.
I'm not saying sponsoring wars overseas and bullshit overseas is great or the answer, but you can't say you're saving with hiding your hand. You grab something with one hand and just transfer it on the other. You ain't saving shit.
I get you, cabron. I get you. Yeah. You've been hearing probably from a lot of podcasters saying, well, we save this money. This is the way we're going to put it back in your pocket. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Just because you're cutting.
No, look.
Oh, go ahead.
Everybody's saying this whole $5,000. How can you see? Like I told you, like I wrote on the message on Saturday. Pick a charity, any charity you want, and if I get the $5,000, I'll go deposit them in your name. If not, you deposit $2,000 in my name, and I'll pick a charity. Así de fácil.
Yeah. So in
no politics, no bullshit, just street code.
Yeah.
Tu palabra, mi palabra, y con eso arre.
Simón, güey. Simón.
You know, no rhetoric, no blue, no red, none of this drama about fucking politicians. They're saying they're going to give you 5 racks. I'll donate them 5 racks because I know it's going to happen. I'm not buying the snake oil.
I get you, cabron. Mm-hmm.
So start picking a charity. I'll pick a charity. And how long do you think it's going to be before we see them $5,000, quote unquote?
Yeah.
Because it's been 34 days. He was going to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you see, there's a difference between rhetoric that sounds good and facts. And like you just said earlier, 4 days. And he claimed he would end the war in 24 hours.
Yeah, they just they had the G7 summit today, but yeah, basic economics 101. When you stop overspending money, that doesn't create money. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Exactly. I understand that.
Yeah, money doesn't grow on trees. So them stopping from giving money to the whole world is not going to give you $5,000. What's going to give you $5,000 is the economy gets stimulated. And I don't even know who qualifies. Again, you're right. This is all behind a pulpit. This is all behind a podium. What do we know?
If it's going to happen, rhetoric.
If it's going to happen or
not, it sounds good.
If it ain't on the wood, the saying goes, it's no good, right?
Look, you grew up in the 80s. You came to, you remember communism, right?
Simon.
Or were you too spun out to understand in the 80s the Russians were the bad guys?
No, I was born in 81, cabrón.
And so were the North Koreans.
I wasn't spun out.
Okay, well, back before the wall and the Berlin Wall fell down, that was the East and West. Our biggest enemy was Russia. And now you have a guy in office signing up to who he grew up his whole life knowing it was the enemy. And you can say time changes, but there's certain things you can't change the principles. You can't go with Belarus. You can't go with North Korea, and you can't side with Russia. It's just, you can't. That was an enemy. And it don't matter how much you think you change your way of thinking, it doesn't happen that way. In real life, you still harbor animosity.
That's right, cabrón. No, I appreciate the call. I appreciate you giving us a dose of reality. Yeah, it could be rhetoric, and then it disappears. It's a flash in the pan, and then obviously people have short memories. 1 week to the next, we're not even going to remember the $5,000 is what it is.
It causes a stir. Everything is caught like you said, kids nowadays and us as adults, we're just living for the moment, just for a life.
Yeah, and we'd rather be entertained than educated, pretty much. That's where we're at right now. Man,
Exactly.
I appreciate the call. 209's in the building.
Órale, buenas noches, Mike.
Hey, buenas noches. I appreciate you. Ándale pues. Cuídate. Bye. Man, nothing but great calls on Chicano Street, man. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing. Something I want to go ahead and bring up right now. This could cost $5,000. Again, if it happens, it happens, cabrones. You're putting me out there like I'm saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I don't know until cha-ching, until the offer up, cash app sign goes cha-ching. I don't know, right? But again, shit, I pay too much taxes. Here we go. Apple announces this can cost $5,000 in your pocket pretty quick. Apple announces $500 billion investment in the United States. This just broke. How long ago? Yeah, 11 hours. So probably today, right? In the United States after CEO Tim Cook met with President Trump. Let's hear it.
Textbook when it comes to dealing with the Trump administration from the corporate side, it's Tim Cook at Apple.
All right, Susan.
That's the largest ever U.S. spending plan for the world's biggest company, and it comes with thousands of new jobs across multiple states. Now, as you mentioned, we knew this was coming as President Trump teased it on Friday, and then Apple CEO Tim Cook was at the White House on Thursday. Apple is spending 50% more this year in 2025 than it did during the first Trump term. So $500 billion over 4 years this time, 4 years, not 5 years, like they usually do. 20,000 new jobs, a new AI server factory in Houston, Texas. And that's significant for Apple. It tends to farm out their AI server needs to third-party providers like AWS. Also, you got a new Detroit Academy, doubling their research and development fund. Now, Apple CEO Tim Cook says we're bullish on the future of American innovation, and we're proud to build on our long-standing U.S. investments. Now, Apple tends to roll out these type of massive U.S. investment plans every few years, but this is the biggest one yet, and it's also 45% more than what they committed during the Biden term in 2021. Now, some of this can be also attributed to the higher spend in this new AI arms race that we're in, where Apple has to keep up with everybody else who's boosting their AI spending by at least 20% this year. Apple also tells me, Maria, that they are now the largest customer of the $12 billion Arizona chip factory from TSMC, which also just started shipping chips last month. Remember that Apple stock, though, still underperforming this year, and that's because of concerns on those increased China tariff threats of another 10%. Now, they got a waiver last.
Okay, that's too much, man. That's too much. I can only do so much economics, but just something worth mentioning is this. The investment is 45% more than it was under the previous administration. They're always going to, because Apple is a U.S. company, right? Now, that dude, Tim Cook, he lightweight looks like a weirdo. I just got to keep that a buck, okay? He does. He lightweight looks like a weirdo. But Tim Cook could have easily just matched what was already happening. Well, $430 billion in 2021 under the last presidency. Well, let's do 450. He could have easily matched it, maybe did a little bit more. I believe 45% more of the investment comes from consumer confidence. I just have to keep it a buck. This is basic economics. Investors are going to invest when they expect a greater ROI for their investment. When they don't expect a greater ROI, a return on investment, they'll hang back. Grant Cardone, another one of the richest, probably real estate tycoon in the world, has also said himself that he hesitated during the last 4 years to invest. And some of these cabrones that have money up the wazoo, I mean, they could shit $1 billion and not skip a step. They could drop $1 billion and not flinch. Okay, they go to them oftentimes. This is what the economists will do. The country will do. The government will do. They'll go to them and they'll ask for more investment inside the economy. But if consumer confidence is not there, if the math is not mathing, or the expectation is not there because they got the head of state or the executive branch, the head of the executive branch, which is the president, laying policies with red tape that's not going to get shit done, they'll hold back the investment. There's no jobs created. There's less money floating around, and there's less money in the economy. To me, the reason I wanted to play this Apple story is just going to show you that investors are now reinvesting in the United States. And I believe we can get those $5,000, cabron, at 209, all right? This is for you, cabron. We can get those. Right now, it's a fucking unicorn. It's a unicorn flying, right? But we can get those $5,000 by stimulating the economy, okay? I just think, like my Alex said right there, Latinos, Chicanos, Raza needs to unite, get on the same page. He was talking about how the black community is looking out for their community always. The gabachos are always united. But Latinos, Chicanos, whatever you want to call us, however you want to put the label on the can, we seem to not be on the same page. And politics has a huge thing to do with it. But if consumer confidence keep going up, I just want you to know that if you keep hearing of stock market breaking records, it's not happening yet. Actually, I think when 45 was president, the stock market didn't start shattering records until the second quarter. But I could be wrong. Someone could look that up. Someone could fact check me on that. But when it did start shattering records, the S&P 500, Fortune 500, okay, bonds, stocks, sureties, Roths, IRAs, when the mutual funds, when they started shattering records, it was every single goddamn day. And you could hate the motherfucker. Oh, fuck him. That's you. That's fine. You know what I mean? It's a free country way. And no one's going to knock on your door and take you to jail because you said some shit. They'll do that in China. They'll do that in Cuba, but they ain't going to do that here. So it's a free country. Speak your mind, right? No one is blocked here. Everyone got a voice here. But when you start hearing of the S&P 500 records, stock market records, just know the economy's getting better, man. The economy's getting better. That's why I brought that up. All right. Let's see what we got, man. Let's see what we got. Oh, it was another interesting story. I think I'm going to bring it up right now. Let's bring up, here we go. Florida. This came out of YouTube right here. This was, I think it was Florida Foos. Let me see. All right, which one was it? Here it is. All right. So this was something that I was questioning, but I wasn't 100% certain on. And your boy was right. I'm skeptical, man. I question too much shit, man. This story came out, and there was a cabron. Now it's came to light. There was a cabron that made a video. And when this cabron made this video about Coca-Cola firing 1,000 Mexicanos, Latinos, whatever you want to call it, brown people. And then they even came out with the story. I wonder if how many of you ran with it. Let's just keep it a buck. It's okay. You can go back. You could delete the post. If it was just the IG story, it disappeared in 24 hours. But I wonder with how many people ran with it, because a lot of shit is propaganda. A lot of shit. Don't forget, man, they invented the radio for propaganda. Okay, they invented that for the wars so people could have low morale going into those pinche guerras. And the people that said, fuck, don't listen to the propaganda, turn the radios off, they ended up winning the war. Okay, World War I, World War II. World War II is more what I remember. So let's play the clip. And if anyone fell into the propaganda, hey, it's all good, cabron. Don't trip, money grip.
Plant in Texas doesn't. Coca-Cola responds to Raza about ICE claims after they accused the company of letting go over 1,000 workers and also calling ICE on them. But the company stated that this never happened. And they're not exactly so sure how this all started, but we do have all the details in the story to tell you. Apparently, it all started with this TikToker right here. He posted a video with him stating that Coca-Cola let go over 1,000 immigrant workers and called ICE on more than a dozen of the workers at one of their bottling warehouses. He claims all this took place at the Cerberus bottling plant in Texas. But there's one big problem, Raza. The Cerberus bottling plant in Texas doesn't even exist. And on top of that, there's no actual proof of the company letting go 1,000 workers and calling ICE on them. A spokesperson from Coca-Cola said this, and I quote, "We can confirm what's being said about the company is false. But let us know your thoughts down below, Raza. This for the fools. Keep you up to date with all the latest rap and news. Make sure Coca-Cola..."
All right, so shout out to Florida Fools. Go ahead. We like to give credit when we get all the clips and all the videos. So go ahead and give Florida Fools a follow right here. I talked about this when it broke. I didn't know if it was true or not. Man, I just don't know. I just seen this is the meme generation. This is where a lot of people just push memes and they're just shoving it down our throats. And it is what it is. And we're supposed to just swallow it. And then the worst part about it is a lot of us don't, let me go ahead and take them off the screen, my bad. And then the worst part about it is a lot of us don't even know we're falling into the propaganda, gente. We fall into the propaganda by go ahead and sharing it when Coca-Cola said they never called ICE. much less did they ever cross the line and fire people just for the color of their skin. I just want to go ahead and put that out there, see what the people think about that. The guy, the cabrón was, the viejito was right there leaning. He was crying on the pallets of Coca-Cola. No, cabrones. Why did you betray the raza? But it wasn't true. It wasn't true. Nate Gonzalez says, go Trump. That's right, cabrón. WAZ, that's right. RC Cola is my favorite. Oh, yeah, bro. You know where I used to go buy RC Cola at? Where the CET is. There used to be a little store, bro, on John Street and where the gas station is. Across the street from Mobile Audio, there's two little gas stations right there, right? Well, one of them, they tore it down. And right behind it was a CET. Well, that CET back in the 80s, was a liquor store. And they had RC Cola. Oh, man. I think it comes from Canada, right? I think it's called Royal Crown Cola. That's my shit right there, man. I do like it. Is it better than Coke? I can't say that, cabrón. Fucking the raza will crucify me if I say that, cabrón. All right, let's go ahead and keep it pushing down the road, man. Keep it pushing down the road. All right, which one we're on right now? How about this one, man? Wow, this one's a trip, man. So the governor of Florida, I don't know if it's just, it's 47. It's a new administration. People are kind of getting a little bit emboldened here. They're talking shit that hasn't been happened before, right? They're shutting down complete agencies. They're shutting down complete departments now. They say they don't need the Department of Education. That's 3,000 fucking desk writers that are getting six-figure salaries. Elon Musk sent an email to all of these government cabrones and said, I want you to let me know, reply to me, what all your accomplishments have been in this position that you have 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Now, I know people are like, wow, fuck, Mikey, that's people's bread and butter. That's people's food that they put on the table. I know that's not a good thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. But mismanaging our taxpayer money, are we supposed to let that slide? My bad, cabrones. And yeah, I still rock with the Seattle Supersonics, cabron. We don't jump ships over here. We don't do no ranker shit, cabron. They sold us in the middle of the night, man, to the fucking CEO of Starbucks, and we became the Oklahoma Thunder, but it is what it is. I still got about 5, 6 hats. All right, let's keep it pushing. So I want to bring something up now. This is where we're going to the Gram. This was a crazy proposition, and it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't. It's crazy because we're used to them taking our money. They tax you when they give you the money. They tax you when you spend the money. This is in regards to property taxes. Governor Ron DeSantis out of Florida putting forward a crazy measure, knowing he has all access to the president. They ran against each other. Yes, they did run against each other, but at the end of the day, whatever. Politics are like this, cabrones. We'll throw mud at each other, pass. And the next thing you know, we'll have to take a picture with each other, sit down and shake hands. And it is what it is. We just got to recognize that is the game, right? Governor DeSantis has now put forth a proposal to make Florida the first state in the entire union to not have to pay property taxes. Period. I want you to hear from the governor himself. I want you to think about this with an open mind because they're literally taking money that you're working for, working hard for. And let's just let Governor Ron DeSantis let you know about this, what he's proposing, and I want to get your thoughts on it, cabrones. Here we go.
It's worth this much, but if no one's willing to come and offer you that much,
all right, one more time.
Subject their citizens to higher taxes, such as higher property taxes, to pay for these spending habits. And these property taxes, it's like you buy a home, you buy land, maybe you buy the home outright, but maybe you pay off a mortgage over 30 years. And then, okay, you've paid off the mortgage, you bought the land, you've been taxed many times. It's like, is it your property or not? Just for being on your property, you got to write a check to the government every year. So you're basically paying rent to the government to live on your own property. And our homestead exemption is not strong enough to help these folks because the property gets assessed so high. And that's the thing. If you buy a home for $300,000 and you know there's certain tax, well, then what? 10 years later, they say it's worth $700,000. And so, and they say, there's homestead stuff that helps protect you to a certain extent, but you're paying more. And a lot of people can't afford that. So I think that that's a big issue. And I know we're going to be really looking at ways to bring people relief from that, because I think it's been really something that's pinching a lot of homeowners, particularly seniors on fixed income. But the reality is people have seen, and this is not the state, we don't control this, we've not allowed any of that stuff to happen. We've been cutting taxes, but people have seen their property tax liability go up over these last years because the property is being assessed higher and higher. And the reality is you don't really know how much your home is worth until someone offers you money and is willing to pull the trigger on a sale. That's how a market works.
All right. So this, I do have a little bit of expertise on. Okay. I just got to say, now I got to talk about job. I got to talk about my work and what I do. He's talking about not just property taxes. He's talking about capital gains taxes on the property. He's talking about a death tax on the property. All of these things coincide under the umbrella of property taxes. I also want to give a shout out to Denise Aguilar 209 for posting this. I like to give credit where credit is due. Go ahead and follow her on IG. And again, if you missed the announcement, Denise Aguilar is going to be on the town hall on March 12th at 7 p.m. If you're interested in joining the town hall, go ahead and get a hold of me. You can reach me on Chicano Tube on all platforms, X, TikTok, IG, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. Denise Aguilar, shout out to you, amiga. And let me just read her caption. Breaking 8 hours ago. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis just said he's pushing to end property taxes in Florida. Wow. Shouldn't be a radical concept, but to some it's like, huh? Yeah. All property taxes, period. Property taxes, she ends the caption like this, should be abolished nationwide. In essence, the only way to avoid capital gains taxes, one, has to do with your familial status, has to do if you're single, it has to do if you're married. Two, it has to do, in order to avoid capital gains tax, and I'll explain what capital gains, well, let me explain what capital gains tax is first. The property, you inherited the property, right? Grandpa's house. Grandpa paid a cool 80 racks, cool 120 racks back in 78. Okay. Well, the property's not worth 100 racks no more. It ain't 1978 no more. Now, you got $500,000 property. Well, the difference between what grandpa paid and what fair market value is for the house is going to get taxed. That gap, that difference. The local county surveyor's office is going to reassess your pinchy property. Okay. This happens if you try to change the title, which there's right ways of, let me go ahead and move DeSantis off the screen. My bad. Cabron. Taking my shine, pinchy DeSantis. There's right ways to change property vesting on the titles, and there's wrong ways. If you do it the right way, you could avoid capital gains taxes. And I know there's some cabrones that say, fuck that. You're not paying taxes. You're not paying taxes. I mean, I just got to keep it honest with you. The smartest people in the world don't pay taxes. Well, Mikey, it's called the fucking tax code, bro. It's called the tax code. If you just learned it, just get a hold of me on IG if you need anything with real estate help, okay? Because it was funny because I recently sold a property, right? And he had an agent for 6 months. This is what I specialize in. I come in, I put on the Superman cape and save the day, right? I don't bullshit with them. Do you still need this property sold? Are you in a time-sensitive situation? I'm not here to bullshit with you. Whether you do business with me or not, I'm good. I'm good. But do you need help? Yes. Okay. Then I get the situation. Well, the agent didn't sell it. And I'm kind of glad he didn't sell it. I said, why? Why would you be glad that you didn't sell your property if you listed the house and wanted to sell it in the first place? Unless you just didn't want to sell it. Where in the process did you change your mind? Well, I'm glad I didn't sell it because I'm going to have to pay capital gains taxes. Okay. Who told you that? Well, the agent told me that. Okay, well, you're no longer under contract with him. Let me ask you a couple questions. Boom, familial status. Boom, how long he's had the property. Boom, his tax status. 3, 4, 5 questions. Guess what I did? Guess what I did? I was able to sell his property, and we were able to, what is it called? Not divert. Fuck, now I'm going blank. We were able to not get the first $500,000 taxed. He was only going to get taxed, and not just $500,000. No. That's 500,000 gain. That's off the net sale. And he wasn't going to get $500,000 in the pocket, paying off the mortgage, paying off everything else, closing costs, etc. We sold that property tax-free. And this other pinchy real estate agent that had been in the business, this motherfucker is on the yellow pages. He's already a viejo. He's already, all over town and pays for all kinds of billboards. You didn't know this? You didn't tell him this, or you were just lazy and it was just another pinchy casa and you didn't really want to help him anyways. I got a lifelong client. Now he wants me to sell properties in Arizona for him. Now he wants me to sell condos for him and other things. Again, this is what property taxes are. You buy something, but do you really ever own it? Do you really ever own it? If you pay flat out what you earn, what you owe on that mortgage note for the rest of your life with property taxes, you have to pay the government in order to live there. That's just the sad reality about it. So is what Governor Ron DeSantis saying wrong? I say no. I say we need to eliminate property taxes. I say every governor needs to get on board. This is one of those things that we don't need to split party lines on. Let's put more money in Americans' pockets. How about that? Where we at right there? That's right, man. Herb 916. Car registration is another scam. Already bought the car once, registered it one time, and it should be enough. Damn it, God. You ain't lying. You ain't lying, man. My favorite kind of car is a G-Body, right? Monte Carlos. I like Buick Regals. I like Monte Carlos. I like Cutlasses, man. I remember paying $80, $120 for car registrations. Again, but these aren't new cars. So obviously, it also the fair market value of the vehicle also affects directly how much the registration is. I do understand that, cabrones. You ain't going to pay the same for a fucking Maybach than for a Buick Regal. But it is what it is. But that's another scam. So again, if people present these policies, whether you're red, whether you're blue, whether you're like, fuck that motherfucker with a spray tan and toothpaste, whatever, what Alex said, and I'm glad he called twice, man. That's one of the best calls he got, man. Maybe Alex should join the town hall, right? DM me, cabron. Raza should unite on certain shit. Just like we were talking about Jocelyn Romo, the broken system that failed Gabriel Fernandez, that had that boy tortured, broken ribs, broken bones, bruises, and kept returning him to his mom. Man, I'm going to get hot if I keep talking about that, man. I'm going to let that go. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. That's right, big dogs in the casa. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you, man. Nothing but brown hands. That's right, cabron. Montana, you pay $100 for life. Damn it. Is that right, cabron? Shit, man. That's Yellowstone, right? Montana. When I saw Yellowstone, that's what gave me the idea, bro. I'm gonna buy a property, bro, and I'm gonna end up getting moms out of the public cemetery because every time I go, they never let me visit her in peace. And Yellowstone, the dude built in the back where way back where the hills go up into a valley, a nice little landscaping, cement, trees, and all that shit, and bury the family on private property. The only thing is with California, everything's a permit. So you got to make sure we do shit legit, cabrones. We don't do shit chueco no more. We do shit straight, man. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. I want to bring up the protest. The protest. All right. Something Joe Rogan said interesting about the protest, cabrones. Let's see what's going on. All right, let's bring this up. Go ahead and do me a favor, though, Raza. Just hit that like button, man. And then also go back to the community page. Chicano Street TV, the backup channel, is in full effect, man. You know, they want to try to clip our wings and cut our voice off. We're going to go down with the ship, man. It don't matter. They'll 3-strike us and we'll come back speaking the unobjective truth.
Unknown caller.
100% of the times.
From Perry.
Caller, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say, cabron?
Chicano Tube, it's Caesar from Paris.
Caesar from Paris is in the casa. I appreciate the call. What you got to say about anything, cabron?
First of all, I'd like to say the first statement of the night would be, that's a nifty green hat you got under my friend, and I love it. Now, great speaks today. The unfortunate part about the great show you've been having is it is all facts. It's all happening. As we speak right now, taking a little chuckles, half of your hat, there are little children, boys and girls, that have been missing from the borders since before my daughter was born. So where are the kids? They're not sitting at the border getting 3 meals a day. So where are they? How are they?
That's
and
right.
that's where everything starts. Nobody knows.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Now,
go ahead.
Everything's out of hand. Everything's out of hand, but let's hope we get somewhere better. Now, to jump somewhere else, the thing about the CIA and the FBI. Now, from my understanding, they're getting paid, bought out, or forced to retire or somewhat, right?
Right.
So, if this happens and it is successful that we get rid of, well, they're trying to get rid of 80% of this federal place. So us, the people, are going to get monies back. Don't own that part of that company sector, whatever, with their taxes. We're going to finally see where the average Joe Hammenager gets his. We finally get treated like good, hearted people. Going on here, Mikey? I hope we look at a brighter day. I hope everybody out there is paying attention. There's a lot of important, rich, super rich people in charge right now. And from history, super rich, powerful people are the ones that shape the education, the workforce, and the future of the country that pretty much own.
Damn it.
The scary thing is that these riches that are unfathomable. Where are they?
Damn.
So it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for my children, my children. I hope these people are in charge, whatever they believe in their soul and spirit, it's up to them. But their intentions for the people that follow them, for only the ideas that they have. That's the only difference between us and them. They have the money and we don't. but they are good people because really ain't that bad, Mikey.
Caesar from Paris dropping nuggets. I appreciate you, cabron. Nothing but facts.
Everybody, have a good night. Caesar from Paris, and I'm out.
That's right. He said, it's hard to trust the billionaires because the richest people in the world are really the puppet masters. I know. One thing I will say is this. If we never go out on a limb, we'll never go out on a limb. We got to trust somebody. Radical change won't happen if we just stay complacent and, well, it's always going to be what it's going to be. But I know what you're saying, Caesar from Paris. It's hard to trust these cabrones, especially like right now. You got Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. Some people are calling him the smartest man in the world. The cabron, I think he lives in the White House. You never seen a president have the richest man in the world and the smartest man in the world by his side. I know a lot of people are very hesitant. Good thing or bad thing. One thing I'm certain about, though, is that the people were crying for change, man. They were crying, bleeding for change, but that's just me. That's just what I think. Those are just my thoughts. All right, you guys, I'm going to turn off the phone lines, cabrones. We got to go ahead, and we're not going to be able to cover what we're trying to cover. Let me go ahead and play what Joe Rogan said. I'm going to bring it up, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Let's see what you think about this.
Guarantee it's organized by the same people that are going to lose a shitload of money based on all these discoveries at Doge. There's no way they're not. If you look at what Doge is uncovering, what they're uncovering with this USAID stuff, a lot of that stuff was organizing through NGOs protests. They organized the attempt at getting Trump impeached.
I thought you were going to say killed.
They organized the impeachment.
That's come out.
They also USAID spent $50 million on the lab that invented coronavirus.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of money involved in this not working. And when you have a lot of money involved, you're going to have organized protest. When you see protests, we all want to think protests like the 1960s. Yeah, fight the war, man. It's like organic, like peace, love, and hippie shit. But that's not what this is. What this is organized, funded protests where someone is spending a lot of money and they're mobilizing other NGOs. They're using their access to these mailing lists and all these different things. They're putting these things together.
Yeah, but do you think that the average liberal person, do you think that they're going to wake up and come around? Or do you think that they're going to be in like agony for 4 years and be...
What if it works? Like, what if the world gets safer, the country gets safer, the economy improves, and they don't attack civil rights, women's rights, gay rights, all these things that everybody's worried about. And then at the end of it, you realize like, hey, maybe I was wrong.
I mean, that's my question though. Are they capable of that kind of self-reflection?
All right, so they're talking about liberal conservative. We'll let that go, but that wasn't the crux of my point, what I was trying to make right here. It was interesting what he said, that history tends to repeat itself. He's talking about the 60s, protests. There's a lot of protests right now, right? Mainly, it has to do with immigration enforcement now being applied, because it wasn't applied. We know it wasn't the last 4 years, etc. We had Tim Ballard. You saw the clip. He was talking about one instance on one person that went through the port of entry because there was a wall, and another instance when it was wide open and the child was AR'd 30 to 40 times a day. And there's still a lot of stretches of miles that have no security. I mean, what they ended up doing was just shutting down the app, shutting down applications. They shut down all the people that were jumping over with no papers. That all that got shut down. However you want to see that, that's up to you. That's your business. I'm not trying to get in your business. I'm going to tell you my thoughts. That's it. I'm not trying to get in your business, nor do I give a shit, who you go to bed with, or am I trying to persuade your politics? None of that. I'm just trying to present it on Chicano Street objectively. That way the people can decide. I bring this to the Razas court, right? So he's saying history tends to repeat itself. Could it be that these protests are getting organized by the government, by certain individuals, that they seem to be a little too organized, things seem to be, pallets of resources and how we're going to do it and frontline and do this and do it. Could these be actors? Could these be professional agitators that are doing this? I put it out there. Some people didn't agree with me, but I put it out there that what if you and I knew? This is a what if. This is a hypothetical. I believe it to be true, but let's just say for hypothetically, what if you were to be 100% certain that the people that are getting picked up by ICE during these ICE raids are all bad guys? I mean, 100% bad guys. Would you still go to bat for them? Would you still want to defend them? We were talking about propaganda earlier. Coca-Cola, the propaganda machine, got that little clip from one TikToker. It could be an activist. It could be a TikToker. They get one thing and just something stirs the emotion inside of them without fact-checking anything. And then boom, and chinga, ya se van. Like this other clip someone sent me, and it was showing LA. LA.
Have them show you the full warrant if it's signed by a judge. You do not have to open the door. You have rights under the Constitution.
This happened just yesterday. This is Alhambra, California. I'm familiar with Alhambra. I have familia over there.
Check every detail. Make sure every detail is correct. If anything is off, it's invalid. They got a wrong letter in your name. It's invalid. Wrong date, invalid. An extra zero, invalid.
Forgot how long this clip goes or what they do. Anyways, okay. So, in this situation right here, just hypothetically speaking, right? If ICE, this is what I believe they should be doing. For transparency reason, I believe they should come and publicize every single detainee, put that on the website for transparency reason. That way the people can see and not just fall into propaganda what's really happening, who's really being detained. Imagine being the cabron blowing the bullhorn. Hey, don't open the door. Don't open the door. And then the cop comes up to you. Hey, the guy inside killed 3 people. Hey, you have rights. Don't open the door. Hey, the guy inside is a fugitive. It's a murderer. He escaped from federal prison. You have rights. Don't open the... I'm just saying, if we fell victim to propaganda, that could be a situation. Now, there was the situation yesterday that happened in Los Angeles. Someone could fact check me on this. And it's a free country. So if people want to protest, when someone's getting arrested, that's fine. It's a free country, cabron. If you're in China and in Cuba, they'll fucking slam your ass on the floor and throw you in jail for no charges. And you won't get out for 90 days or 6 months in Cuba, and you won't even see your fucking family for that long. And you ain't got to say so in shit anyways. So at least be happy that we're in a country where we have freedom of speech. But if everyone they're arresting, right now what I heard was the first wave was going to be federal and local detention centers. This is what I heard. The second wave was going to be everyone with a removal order, period. Removal order, period. So could it be we're just spreading propaganda and we're getting the people scared? I'm scared. I'm afraid. The people are afraid. Could it be we're partaking in the fear mongering without even knowing it? But it's something on the raza pages though, right? Brown power. And so automatically, if it's on the raza page, share. But we don't know. I gave this example. I said, imagine going to the county jail, sitting right there, and then the report says, oh, and by the way, less than 5% of the people that ICE has detained are Mexican. Imagine you look around and you're like, shit, I hope these fucking Venezuelans are at least going to shoot me a sopa. All right. All right. Anything else we're going to touch, man? We're going to go ahead and let this go. Coming up on the 7 o'clock hour, I also wanted to talk. I might as well. Let's bring this clip up, man. I want to talk about the Attorney General. Since we're talking about, I guess, immigration, the Attorney General is now going after sanctuary cities.
I sued the governor and I said, if you don't stop, you're next. New York kept going. They were belligerent, sued New York, sued the governor, not going to stop. So, you're going to be next if you're not watching what we're doing, and we will be successful and we will make America safe again. Sanctuary cities, protecting Americans. I sued the state of Illinois. I sued the governor and I said, if you don't stop, you're next. New York kept going. They were belligerent, sued New York, sued the governor, not going to stop. So, you're going to be next if you're not watching what we're doing, and we will be successful and we will make America safe again.
All right. So we're going to end it on this. I didn't even get through. I want to talk about Alice Johnson. She's named the new pardon czar. I think we'll bring that over on the next one. But this is the Attorney General. She sued the whole state of Illinois and cut off federal funding. Now she's suing the state of New York for defying the unraveling of sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities, if you don't know what they are, you had this individual right here who unalived his wife in front of their children. And he was in Chicago living rent-free with a free bank account, with a free EBT card, with free money, no rent, and they couldn't arrest him because he was in a sanctuary city. Here's another cabron. I could go on, and I could go on, and there's Aurora, Colorado, on and on and on. This Attorney General has been Chigavacha. She's actually Italian. I know she has huera and she has, blonde hair and shit like that. She's Italian. Her name is Bondi, Pam Bondi. She's not playing with sanctuary cities. You could argue this either way. I tend to want to look at the greater good, just like the border, right? Well, Mikey, why do you want to close the border? Why do you want to let everyone in? That's my question to you. The reason I say we should have fucking secured the border a long time ago is just what Tim Ballard said. He's noticed that the children that get trafficked get caught when they have to go through a port of entry, and they don't when the shit's wide open. So fuck your feelings. Let's think about the children. Same thing with this. We got perpetrators. We got assailants. We got murderers and robbers that are being protected in sanctuary cities. I think what Pam Bondi is proposing is a good thing. I think Illinois does need to get sued. New York needs to get sued. Anyone that's holding back a criminal needs to get sued. So it's easy for us to say on the outside, but what if it was a situation that was directly affecting you? What if it was your spouse that got unalived? Putting it out there to the people. En serio. This is how I see it. Motherfuckers think that I see it through a red lens, a blue lens, a this lens, a that, a Chicano lens, a brown lens. How about the human fucking race lens? What if that was your wife that they couldn't get justice for? Would you hate Pam Bondi for passing a law that gets the perpetrator that killed your wife in jail? Would you be so blinded by the politics? Would you be so blinded by your nationalism? Would you be so blinded by your beliefs that you throw what's right out the window? Every time I fucked up, I caught the chain. Last number I had was a V number, and that's embarrassing. I'm glad I got rid of that fucking number because now they have AB numbers and AK and AZ numbers, and every time I did something, I had to face the music. That's where I'm coming from. You do something, you fucking face the music, man. It's called law and order. If we didn't have law and order, this shit would be called only the strong survive. And while you're away from home, working for your family, your shit will get pillaged and ravaged. Oh, Mikey, that's not going to happen to me. That's some old school barbarian shit. It could if some people got their way. But anyways, let's read the last comments into the night, you guys. Oh, shit, man. Ben's in the casa. That's right. Saludos. Boyle Heights is in the house. That's right, cabron. I appreciate Boyle Heights. Oh, man, that's right. If the guy killed people, how would he be free? Oh, shit. You know what's crazy, bro? Someone sent me a clip. This fucking guy, man. No principles no more. You know who I'm talking about. No principles. He actually said, he goes, I got paperwork on the president that says he did something to an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, 14-year-old. Pendejo. The Central Intelligence Agency under the last administration, the Federal Bureau of Investigation under the last administration, which is the 50 most highest ranking intelligent officers, have been trying to lock 47 up and stick something to the president in order to stick it in him with no grease. If they couldn't do it, the CIA, the FBI, Secret Service, Homeland Security, you want me to believe a washed up old fucking man has paperwork on the president that got it off of Google? Yeah, man, some people need to go to old folks' home. All right, you guys, live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street at 7 o'clock. I'm going to tap back in with the familia, man. We didn't even get to half of the topics that we wanted to talk about, but we had great phone calls. 805 checked in the building, 661 checked in the building, the 209 checked in the building, the 619 checked in the building. I appreciate the calls. To be continued. We'll be back on Wednesday night on a regularly scheduled show. Gracias, you guys. Do me a favor, though. This is all I ask on this. We ain't in this for views. We ain't in this for numbers. We ain't in this for money. Absolutely not at all. Gracias a Dios that he takes care of me, because I take care of what I do in secret is why he takes care of me. But just hit the like button, man. Hit that like button. And another thing you could do for your boy is you could subscribe over to the backup channel, which is called Chicano Street TV. That's going to be the backup channel ready to go. We already got the hardcore members already subscribed. We already got the hardcore day oneers that fuck with me already subscribed over there. So just go to the community page, scroll down maybe 2-3 posts, and the link is there. Subscribe over to Chicano Street. If we keep talking like this, they're going to whack us. That's just the inevitable, right? Even though censorship has lifted, we've noticed that they could whack us. They're about to whack my TikTok account. As soon as I make clips from this one, you know, we might get whacked, and it is what it is. I'll go down with the ship, but do me a favor. Subscribe over to Chicano Street TV, you guys. Last roll call of the night. Risky Business. I see you, Big Dog. Zapata Vive. That's right, my boy. Richie Lokes. Superman. Enrique Ledesma. Big Dog. Quique de Escondido, that's right. I appreciate you. Si Se Pudo Podcast, another day oneer, cabron. R.I.P. Ah, shit, man. Did she pass away? No way. Roberta Flack passed away, cabron? Oh, shit, man. We got Roberta Flack passing away. We got Jerry Butler, for your precious love means more to me than any. Or remember he sang, only the strong survive. That's right, cabron. Damn, it's crazy, man. A lot of people have been passing away. The dinosaur generation is disappearing, man. One day there ain't gonna be no more people cooking like grandma's kitchen. No more. Next thing you know, they ain't gonna be fucking comparing recipes. They're gonna be comparing DoorDash and Ubers. That's crazy, man. That's That's right. Guppy AZ says Legsit. Yeah, that's right. The wife actually had a Legsit hat at one point, man. So Legsit is invited also to the town hall as well, man. P-Dog says pure hot pockets. Orale. Artie Marine. All right, you guys. I'm going to tap back in with the familia. We're out live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. I appreciate your time again. I say that from the bottom of my heart, man. Time is precious. I don't like these fucking little clickbaiters and people trying to waste time. We didn't get into no cheeseman tonight, man. We didn't get into no cheeseman. I'm actually thinking of separating those kind of lives maybe on Chicano Street in the future and separating the stream to that. And I'll share it on the main page. That way, if you want to tap into it, you'll tap into Chicano Street. But we're going to keep Chicano Tube pertinent with issues that affect the raza like me and you. All right, you guys, I'm out. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night. But remember what I always say? In the end, all you got is the memories.